the first to know. Nsem-Pii TV.
Open one political party, ya tumia open tea. On found say obeka nsem edi egu nipa bi so edi egu nipa ho fin edi egu nipa ni mu asia. It is the NDC and the records are there to back this claim. Ohwe omo achitafo omo achidifo any even party mpanimfo ahodo ya enne ya yekasei omo gina emranim for defamation of character bibrekwa. Now the latest of them a party no ankasa national chairman Johnson Asiedu nketia omo ka sami jamfi wo onumi okoka be di kire ma chopoku prempe court abu edi atia no ye besi na sikai ontumi ntua bebrebe ene die afro ade akwa kodru the national chairman Johnson Asiedu nketia na ankasa so na ade a esre wo ho ne se omunya kokodru kika sansa bi nyina na duru se omumeyi o ma na okota no mudwa Johnson Asiedu nketia fe de woni Accra High Court di hide and seek ene de wo so yare it won't be my court. Now, somewhere last year, and that is October 2nd, and Professor Dua Ajemai, or your former Auditor General, sued Johnson Asiedu Nketia at High Court for defamation to the tune of 20 million cedis. Now, I say, the national chairman of the NDC, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, Akotran need FM. I'm making wild allegations at the Etiano, and those allegations were without basis. Now, Diana Johnson Asiedu Nketia, it was only done to impugn his integrity, dignity, and reputation in the eyes of right-thinking members of the society. Now, according to Professor Dua Ajemai, and someone Johnson Asiedu Nketia kwaki kan on DTFM na eye unsubstantiated na eye disparaging na ofri ho and was make similar statement ewo Accra FM na eye statement ben Professor Dua Ajemai chiremu a Johnson Asiedu Nketia accused of producing fake audit account in 1983. Brana wa yedma audit service 1983. Brana wa yedma audit service. And our side can say because of that fake audit account. Professor Dua Ajemai in 1983. Onu Asiedu Nketia kura evidence say Professor Dua Ajemai was banned from the audit service in 1983. And he was again banned by the Institute of Chartered Accountants also in 1983 for producing fake account for a non-existent company. And our baby young Kumanyano Dicha was an insanity. Or no Asiedu Nketia say Professor Dua Ajemai and to me I'm practicing as a private auditor from 1983. Now, and a Professor Dua Ajemai jina so ediko si Johnson Asiedu Nketia san say o se ensem Asiedu Nketia kwaki kan ya na nyina so bi anim no to me generating so much media attention both in Ghana and abroad. One, a tarnishing image, the hard-earned reputation tarnishing. Two, the busuafo a biwa Ghana ne biwa manoneno. In fact, na asemno aya hontesem jama wo. Looking at the way a nipa bi gina so di wono Professor Dua Ajemai atem. Say I ono kra na say okopọ kro no audit service produce fake account ma ye nedi. And another dan kokofo ado eso sokro no keta se ne proyesu nti wasan ama no position as Auditor General. Interestingly, Emra Asem no copy mo the Accra High Court on October 2nd, 2018. That Professor Dua Ajemai submitted all the necessary documents and any evidence and someone Johnson Asiedu Nketia kano and ukrebi anim no. Court to kwa setena hwehwe ensem ni nyina mu ehwe evidence a Professor Dua Ajemai e dia bani nyina. And now establish say Professor Biajimai has a case. Enunti, Yewra Johnson Asiedu Nketia asked the defendant and prepare on also the evidence ya wa a man jina so kwa kika ansemi on live radio. Na ome defend. Now from that time, emre bi akọ to be kwa setan e be free Johnson Asiedu Nketia say omra na ome different. Those witness statement na onfan kire say ensem okoka editia Professor Biajimai ewo nyina so Johnson Asiedu Nketia na odwane dwan. Your friend bia no dwane dwane. Your friend bia no dwane dwane. Now, in fact, an order of the court had directed the defendant, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, to retract the said defamatory publication and render an unqualified apology in the same prominence on NIT FM and 4 publications in the Daily Graphic. Still, Ankoso. Enti Professor Dia Ajimai, Enyama Osikini, a defamation suit of 20 million Ghana cedis. An order of injunction directed at the defendant, agents, assigns, and his privies from continuing to make any further defamatory publication against him. Now, for an order for the defendant to retract the said defamatory publication and render an unqualified apology in the same prominence on NIT-FM and 4 publications in the Daily Graphic also being sought for. And after court charges beyond so so Johnson Asiedu Nketia ebitua. In the 3rd of July, 2024, and a court to San Frebio. Now, your friend case in one. The defendant, Johnson Asiedu Nketia, amount to boxwa. Yehuno baby ya. Ena, judge niya oti case iso. Ebisa say, Mr. Johnson Asiedu Nketia, the defendant, away from the lawyers. Almost say, oyare. Ena judge say, Justice Audrey Tay Kosuvi say, na oyare ADNT and lawyers for Johnson Asiedu Nketia mum produce a medical excise duty to buttress that claim. Say oyare. Lawyers for Johnson Asiedu Nketia and Koka almost say the medical excuse duty enye ready. ADNT na enye ready almost say motor rider or the excuse duty back court no. Motor rider no running late as a result of traffic situation because of the heavy downpour in Accra. En route to the court, motor rider no running late kakra because of adverse weather conditions in the morning. Enti ontumi medru. And Justice Audrey say, ono any nipa bi aka no honim se court be kwa setra enenenti. Omaye everything possible to be in court. Enti DNT and lawyers for Johnson Asiedu Nketia all along with him se court to be shia on the 3rd of July. Na omo client Johnson Asiedu Nketia homfa. Na oma tra ho no mo ama court akwa setra no pa no aye bibia wie Africa case no ansana omo de excuse obetum se Johnson Asiedu Nketia yare without a medical excuse duty for. Now we are must have a country court to say motor rider what they form no ban. Traffic are holding it in on to infirmary. Now according to the judge, Onya very happy. Onya happy cry because it is a feeble excuse. I'm quoting or say, I honestly find the reasons submitted by counsel for the defendant very feeble because notwithstanding the weather conditions, the court is present. When did you realize that your client was sick? When did you intend to notify the court that he will be absent today and submit a proper medical excuse duty to confirm his sickness? She added, that since the person, that is the motor rider, bringing the excuse duty was already on his way, lawyers for the defendant should file the excuse duty within 24 hours. Consequently, she ordered the court clerks to receive the report first thing tomorrow, Thursday, July 4th, 2024 morning, before court resumes on Friday, July 5th, 2024. He also warned lawyers for the defendant that whether Mr. Johnson Asiedu Nketia will be present in court or not, court sitting will continue tomorrow, July 5th, 2024. Justice Audrey Kosivite, in fact, na ne bu of fuye papa. Because since court establishes say Dr. Duajemai ewu case into Johnson Asiedu Nketia emu abo ano ho say obeba be different ne nsem okokan ye. Johnson Asiedu Nketia de ne ochina enne meyare ochina meyare mitiye meya menaye meya mensaye meya sa ene no ekupie mu court omo sign to me catch the court to say motor rider with the medical excuse duty ba wabeka trafficking ena munsu ya brani ane eto wonkanti. But omo lawyers for the counsel there and our lawyers for the defendant there in so neto ye nyina omo tumi nya kwan eba court, but medical excuse duty ni there akoka traffic eno na justice kire say justice what the kire say sa excuse your moment a very very feeble emu oha to dey what court clerks in train na omonye duty na by ena no pay duty ni meka won sa court because nyame adom ochira Johnson Asiedu Nketia pew on pew court be kwa setena amana sha say defending ho e wo those accusations ya oye editia yewura Professor Dua Ajemai ya a date back from 1983 ya kwa kika ho asem e wo neat FM na wo sa to asoko kan bi e wo Accra FM na e wo semfufu
and say initially na man for dede say NDC afara ni meet into change me MPP in front of me MPP in front of me MPP in front of me and Baumia cannot make up his mind. Baumia is indecisive, even running mate so take it and I want to meet boldly. I was laughing at them because they don't even know what. Well, okay, I won't say they don't know what they're talking about. Not you show me, but from a politically strategic point of view, Baumia Nankasa, that been a union flag bearer. And yet, last year November 4th, in the union flag bearer. Just last year November 4th, in the union flag bearer. If you want to even do the mathematical science, John Mahama May last year flag bearer Anyeta. Dabeno Yiji Nana running it. Let's just do that mathematical time frame. Say opposition leader no cry no. And the best I think and no running it. Now incumbent government, vice president Obey flag bearer. The union nanu ya ade achi I see you running it. Ade ono de onyamreka kra echi. Ono onyamreka kra echi. The opposition leader do the mathematical time frame within which he chose his running mate. And see whether Baumia is being indecisive. So it is neither here nor there. If it's about time frame, running mate, then if you do the mathematical time frame, Baumia, you need here then his time frame is even shorter than John Mahama's own. So it means that Baumia is more decisive than John Mahama. If we want to go on that argument and that tangent. So sometimes they do arguments now. You just wonder what is happening. Thinking that you go to the man's here, what can be? Yes, it will be. Now, man, yes, we are buying things for no. Said they need you more. Joseph, no idea, and I know two fellow. Daniel, no idea, and I know two King Cyrus now in for the move. So it is not necessarily, so God has with different talents. But the point I'm making is that, so Dr. Baumia took his time. Secondly, the union November 4th, he needed to assert his presence on the landscape. Yeah, he needed to assert his presence on the landscape first. And he said, sir, 16 regions, meeting the chiefs, meeting religious leaders, meeting traditional leaders, meeting the youth, going to the markets, going to the places, touching base with the people. That I am Mahamudu Onya. Me na MPP4. Nyakupada o Mahmoud Frank and National Minister. I am passing the Nanado a bit actually. But you said there are times and there are seasons. And the season of Nanado is about moving away. And Nanado has no problem with it. So he has allowed me, and the party has allowed me to lead. It means I may Babet Waso. Me na me here and I say me na me be MPP ako any. It means Modi I me up according to my own merit. And you see, Nana, some of us did the same thing for President Mills. So we know the potency of Sadi. Yeah, I'm a President Mills, no. One of the deep messages Anna Yade Kobat into me back and was basically say, please stop looking at President Mills continuously through the prism of Jerry Rawlings. Yes, he said Jerry Rawlings as vice president, but today, as an individual, he's called John Atamils. How many Atamils? And that is all they're calling now. How many Atamils? No, how many Atamils? How many Atamils? Then South and before the propaganda, oh, Yari Ube, how many Atamils? If you do baby, and yeah, you know, today, Ube. So the point I'm making is that Nana. So what Baumia did with his advisors was that let's take some time and establish the presence of the leader. Let's quit the fire. No, I'm sorry, I'm not happy. The disciples. Daddy, he had to go through some processes before he chose the 12. So for every leader, you establish yourself, your presence. Then, now you elect and you nominate your vice president. Now, even in the nomination process, say yes, will be a dinner times, Council of Elders, or they are called former President Kufo, or they are dying Nankasani Bozanado, or they are called party caucus, or they are called share majority caucus. Me, I can say for a fact, and let him become a distinction. A bar, yeah, did John Mahama even bother to go to the minority caucus and meet them there and tell them that this is my choice? So, there are certain things that the MPP and Baumia are doing that are interesting. Now, thirdly, there's a constitutional provision. Say, I could never be better less than 6 months before elections are. You're nearby election. Then people are saying, oh, I don't know when you mean term by election or Menshia. I say, what is your problem? When John Evans chose John Mahama as running mate, maybe July or something of 2022, did John Mahama resign as MP for Bole? Didn't John Mahama become running mate for Atamil and maintain his position as MP for Bole? So where comes this argument that about Napo should resign from the ability? A lot of the talk is just the internet talk. I know now who call 19 now person TV was them because we are anti-gay. Baby and come on. But that means soon come on in. So to the substance or the government of the discussion, the MPP has done it in a very organized and strategic manner. Very organized and strategic, and I've given you the chronology of how Namikyo say a very organized and strategic. First of all, let the flag bearer show presence, let him establish his leadership. Then, when you, the running mate, you come, Sebi, Umbekase, Ebia Wunti, and Nankulindi Biba, Ukahun and Kulindi Beba. There were no two ways, but a young Wunti, because Penino. What it is now, Baumia has now become a household name everywhere. Napo will only come and compliment.
Still no and call for a peg running mate me, you know. Who stands tall?
Okay, yeah, fine. So in terms of running mate, the only way you can peg them, because one is a professor. She was the first female vice chancellor of the university. So a very accomplished academic. He couldn't to me in Free. She's an established one in her own right. Nobody can question her academic credentials. Napo also is a qualified medical doctor, a dentist by profession. You cannot question his training and his certificate and his professional. Yes, back with the MP, Bakundi. At a point in time, Bakun can say, "Oh no, don't hear NDC." Yes, we remember that IEA, no, could go from Kumaye. Let be very clear that she's not doesn't belong to any political party. Then over joining NDC, Bakudi from day one, they started MPP. Karifuluma, they were MPP, and then Warizia, I think 3 or 4 times MP. So in terms of political entrenchment, establishment, identity, Baku or political identity, and that is very critical. That you identify with your political tradition,